terribly sorry about these little issues that we had with the stream, but people have come back for take number 2, which is always good. So thank you to Radio Alex HM, Shaffer, Patchius, and also Radio Alex HM again for sticking around as we are here for round 3 of the Historic Road Racing Championship. The event is actually underway. Some of the drivers are already on the roads of the Isle of Man and going around and doing all this stuff. So quickly, before we get on to the actual what's going on, and apologies as well if you can hear some banging going on in the background. The guys downstairs are doing some work on their flat, so it's all over the place for us at the moment, but hopefully everything will be fine for the rest of the day. So the format is, these guys aren't racing like they would be normally. They're going to go out like they do at the Isle of Man TT. The cars will be released in qualifying order every 15 seconds. So probably about half of the grid is now currently on track, and we will get to that in a moment. The drivers are going to do probably about 6 laps or so of the Isle of Man, and the laps will be between sort of 20 minutes and 23 minutes, depending on the class and because of fuel and stuff like that. And whoever sets the fastest overall time is the winner. It's a bit like a rally, basically. It's a rally on a very, very, very long track. Now, you might have heard beforehand, I don't actually have a co-commentator with me today because he became an uncle. So congratulations to Zach. So he's not here today, so he's off doing family stuff. So it's just me for the whole thing, which we'll just see how all this goes. So Jackson Robillard was fastest overall in the qualifying session. We should probably go live to some actual cars on track in a moment. Jacob Demarais, GP laps himself, he was second, and Oskari Kantonen was third in a 2-litre Maserati A6 GCS. So brilliant lap from him. 2 minutes, because you expect these laps to be 2 minutes long, but no, it's a 20-minute lap. What a lap! So again, I say once again, thank you to everybody that is here. We'll get to the actual running of the event in a moment. We are just trying to sort out some background issues that related to the stream. These things happen. We were sort of kind of anticipating it as well. But what can you do? It happens. But we're here. We are here and at the Isle of Man. Maybe I should do the actual intro again, because it was a brilliant joke I'd written into that John Dunn said that no man is an island. What about the Isle of Man? Who knows? But anyway, Nightbot is doing its thing because I've got that set up for the Formula 4 race later on tonight, so that's going to start shouting at you that I'm racing at Silverstone. I'm not. This is the Isle of Man. And like I say, you've got people like John McGuinness and Joey Dunlop, names that I only knew probably about an hour ago when I did the research for the intro. But I will give you some track facts that we will look at over the course of the day. There have been over 100 Isle of Man TTs held, and actually my head teacher back in 2007 binned off the whole school to go to the race in 2007. You need to be in for your GCSEs, but I'm going to the Isle of Man. Still a bit salty about that, to be honest. And it is probably the world's most dangerous racing event. 200 people, or over 200 people have been killed, and 5 were killed just this year. There has only been one Isle of Man TT without a death since the Second World War, and that is 1982. But we've got cars racing around here today, and 1954 style racing cars, which I think we're going to cut to in a moment. Our broadcast director Daniel Costello is having a lot of trouble with his equipment at the minute, but like I say, things happen, and we will get on with it. So here is Oskari. Oh, that was a great time to come back in, getting some air in the Maserati, painted in Finnish colours, well, pretty much in the Finnish flag, the blue and white, and you can see the times there on the side of the screen. You basically got to ignore that because we have I have an actual separate thing here for my timing. It says that Jake is just in 442nd sector 1, and if I'm all over the place here, please understand that nobody that we're aware of has done this kind of thing. like a time trial in our Factor 2 is something that nobody has really done before. So we're all just learning as we go along. And can I remember which corner is which? Dude, I've got a map and I've got absolutely no idea. I know turn 1 because that's the first one after the starting, but well, I mean, this guy clearly knows that was Ballo. Right, let me find that on the map. How far along is that? Ballo Bridge. Right, so we're 17 miles into the lap, nearly 18 miles into the lap, coming up towards Quarry Bends. This is it, right? This is Quarry Bend? I don't have a clue. I've been looking at maps all week, and I really don't. Snapping an ASMR. But I just don't know. So he's gone purple in the first sector. Is that good? Down to Ginger Hall. Right now, you're just saying words, Jonathan. Ginger Hall. So we're about 20 miles in. So these cars are really going some here. So there's probably going to be a tight left-hander at Kerrow Moor and Glen Duff in a little bit. I think it's pretty obvious how tricky this is going to be, because like I said, this is known as being the Isle of Man TT for motorcycles. But we're running cars, and someone did post in the original stream. I think they only race motorbikes here, only motorbikes are allowed. But what if I was to tell you that in 1953 they did race cars here? And that was at the British Empire Trophy in 1953. So only 1 year prior to these cars being around. These are 1954 sports cars, basically the cars that competed at Le Mans in 1954. As GP Laps Jake getting a bit of a slide on coming into whatever village this is. Next to the fish and chip shop, running the stop sign. And this is the great thing about the Isle of Man, is that it basically forms this massive loop. It starts in Douglas in the sort of the southeastern end of the island, if I've looked at my map correctly. Where is my map? There it is. And it sort of goes round to Ballacrane, and then up towards Ramsey, and then back down again towards Douglas. So it almost goes to probably the three major settlements on the island, being Douglas, which is the capital, Peel, and then up to Ramsey. But it just sort of turns off and then goes over the top of the mountain, which I think is like the later part of it. But so it looks like okay, Parliament Square. So Jake is probably just over the north end of the circuit right now and going to start making his way back down towards Douglas. You can get involved with the hashtag, the HRRC there. And yes, it streams on a bit of a delay, so by the time he's gone into the next corner, I'm not really keeping up. So I think the class leaders are correct there, but we're not going to know until they start crossing the line. And they're doing... It says they're doing 10 laps, so 6 or 7. Like I say, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time that this has ever happened that we're aware of. Jake getting the power down on the exit of the hairpin there, which looks, I think that might have been like Gooseneck or something like that. So he's coming up to sort of the country roads here. No speed limits on these roads. You see that sign on the British mainland? That would mean that you were able to do 60 miles an hour up here. Here, unrestricted. Completely unrestricted. Go as fast as you want, but in this case it's go as fast as you can. We've added that extra element of competition. This is where we get up to the highest point of the track, which I believe is about 1,300 feet, which for metrics is 422 meters above sea level. That'll be at Halewood's Height, which is just beyond the bungalow at sort of mile marker 31. So you may recognize this little stretch of road from episodes of Top Gear, driving cars up and down these roads, things like that. I love how chat is just saying words in the chat, identifying the correct points of the track. But like I say, you guys are probably about 30 seconds behind me, so I appreciate the help. But it's basically you're just going to be looking at cars. and Jake driving on both sides of the road to try and keep things going on, and probably doing over 100 miles an hour up here, which is all going to be a little bit crazy, really, because of the fact that if you make one mistake at these speeds, you are you're gonna stack it and end up upside down in a going down the embankment. Is this commentary only, or will I also be racing? I am only doing commentary for this. I'm not a sadist. What these guys have put themselves through is remarkable. That they've taken the time to learn these tracks. Well, I say these tracks, this track in particular, and they're also going to target Florio later on in the season, which is going to be absolutely mammoth undertaking. So there's 2 time trial races for this, as Jake sets a 421 second middle sector. Again, I'm not going to know anything until they cross the line, so I've got no clue how they actually do this with the real TT, getting very close to the edge of that brickwork on that bridge there. This is very Top Gearish now, isn't it? So good. And like I say, trying to put themselves through all of this, crossing a railway line, I believe that is, under a bridge. Must be absolutely breathtaking to see the motorbikes go flying up here. I'm not really into motorbikes at all, so yeah, it's a bit weird watching cars go flying around here. I have tried to drive a car around here in a set of course, but I'm on a smaller version of this track. And there you go, you see Jake just sliding around there, trying to keep the car on the road. And apparently with this mod, pace notes are included in English, French and German to help you learn the track. Jake flying around a long left-hander. I think he's probably heading back down the hill now, so these cars will have been released in qualifying order, so at some point you would think that cars are going to catch up to each other. So just as a reminder, so Jackson Robillard went out first, then Jacob went out second, Oscar Canton in third, Scooby fourth, Nick Helm in fifth. That's not the comedian, by the way. And then Simon Freilich, you might know him from other leagues in R Factor 2. I think he did FSR one year, a couple of other leagues. And then we've got Matt Wright and Mark Ziedler in the 3-litre class. So they might catch up to each other, overtake each other if cars make mistakes, or big mistakes to spin out and things like that. You've just got to keep the car on the road. And do I go out and absolutely marmalise my tyres over the first lap, or do I just survive? We had 38 starters at Spa. We ended up with 16 come the end. Right, we're at Kate's Cottage now. Where's that? Oh, we're near the end. Right, there's a tight right-hander coming up, which will be Craig Nibar, I believe. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. So we're already about, what, 4 miles? Oh, yep, says right there. Well, that's probably a good place to watch. I bet that place gets rammed, that pub. So, whoa, getting a bit of a slide on, Jake. And it's downhill towards Brandish and Hillberry. So he's only about 3 miles from the end. So apparently this is the end of his first lap. Letting you hear the engine notes, which I can't hear for some reason. I don't know if I've got something turned off on my screen here, but I just realised that I couldn't hear anything there. Oh, there we go. Like I say, we're having a few issues with the stream, but we're all learning, and all the British road signs as well. So this should be 40 miles an hour down here, but the speed limits will not apply to Jake. We'll try and get some shots of the other cars as well to make sure that we're not showing too much bias to the man that's made all this happen. GP Laps organising the whole league, and obviously Simply Race broadcasting it. You can see this on the Simply Race YouTube channel. Go and give them a like and a subscribe as well. Do some great work, or even pay them a visit if you're in the Milton Keynes area. So, like, we are near the end of the lap. Signpost corner. So I think that was Hillberry he's just gone through. and signpost corner, the nook, and then the run to the end, getting very close to those flagpoles. Don't want to hit one of those. And then we have the run towards the final straight. Jake was saying actually earlier today that he finds that on full fuel, the Jag is really nice to drive, but as the fuel wears off, the front end just becomes really light and it starts to understeer a lot. And that is a lap complete for GP Laps. I think. That does sound about right though, doesn't it? So Jackson Robillard, his last lap was a 20:32.4. Jake has set a 20:44.1. So Jackson Robillard absolutely flying out there at the minute. I think those are the only two that have actually set a complete lap so far. Askari Kantonen, 4:42.7 and a 4:24.8. That's 424, not in minutes, because of the way this timing stream was designed. It was designed for things like Le Mans and designed for things like, motor racing. So Reese Gardner, Southpaw racer, has actually set the fastest middle sector of anybody out there at the minute. The Australian, who has also decided to put himself through pain to do this. And if you know Southpaw racer as well, he's called Southpaw racer because he doesn't have the use of his right arm. So he's doing this. He's put all the time in to learn this, so fair play to him. He is third in class at the minute. That'll be because he was released third in class, I think. He's in the 2-litre category. Oh no, this has all been messed about because of the fact that Askari Kantonen out-qualified. Askari Kantonen out-qualified 4 5-litre cars and a bunch of the 3-litre cars, so that's why the 2-litre is shown ahead of the 3-litre. So this is probably the first race we've done. I say the first race, the first event that we've done as he comes up to Craig Nibala. We'd assume that the car was a bit easier to handle through there. Like I said, it's the first event that we've had, excuse me, where anybody can actually win it. Before, it was basically, the 5-litre cars would just overpower everybody. But any car can win. So the 5-litre cars will just power past everybody because they're superior power. Like we saw at Spa last time out, they were just passing the 2 and 3-litre cars like they went there. But this time, it's more on the driver because this is a 37 3/4 mile track. And anything can happen. So Simon Freilich setting a 20-minute 44.1, which is actually the best overall time in the 2-litre category. As Matt Wright was that. Did he just hit the wall there at a corner? Yes, Askari has been mighty fast all season. That was the 3-litre class for Matt Wright. Going up to cross the line, it's over 21 minutes this lap. Finish line just there past the pit lane and that bridge. Mark Ziedler in the Merc. Beautiful looking car. This track is available on the Steam Workshop if you want to give it a go for yourself. Actually runs all right. It was originally designed for Grand Prix Legends. I mean, you can probably tell that from the 2D sprites that have made up the rest of the scenery here. Very nice recreation. Mark Ziedler, whoa, that's fast. That's full commitment right there. So Mark Ziedler on his way towards Quarterbridge. Getting hard on the brakes, manages to get the thing pulled up. Just about. Very squiggly on the brakes. Drum brakes on the Merc, disc brakes on the Jag. Get a kick of oversteer on the exit. Show off for the cameras. And he makes his way up to Braddon Bridge now for mile marker number 2. I can only imagine what it would look like to actually be in that car, driving through the left-hander and then the right-hander. So that's just about, just by the church. That's about 2 miles down. sort of follow what's going on here. Actually, if we can get like an onboard and just see how mental this place is. All commitment from this Merc. We saw Casper Stolzer absolutely ragging the Merc around Spa last time out, and had a bit of an issue with his computer during that race. But it was very good drive nonetheless, leaving Douglas now. I think. I think we need a map. We need a track map in the corner. That would make everything a little bit easier for everybody. I wonder how many people are running SimHub with a track map and things like that, so they can get an idea of where they're supposed to be on the road. Keeping it all the way to the left, so you can throw it in for this right-hander. Try not to hit the stuff on the outside. And this looks terrifying from a car perspective. What's it going to be like on a motorcycle? Do they have to do a pit stop? Radio Alex HM, I think they might have to. Maybe, I think only for fuel though, because these are bias ply tyres, so they'll last forever. And we have a retirement in the 3 litre class. Bayer is out. Martin Bayer in the Gordini T24. I think that might be, well, it's the first one that we know of to actually crash out of the race. But we were expecting that at some point. We're expecting some drivers to lose the car at some point. Army Costa is in the pit lane. Roguefish in the 3 litre class in Sector 2. I'm trying to get a glimpse of some of these road signs so I can actually see where the track's going. Oh well. Like I say, we lost Martin Bayer. This is Parliament Square, apparently. Thank you, Daniel Castillo, broadcast director. This is in Ramsey, up the north end of the island. Robiard's first lap time, well, his best lap time, Taka, is a 20:32.4. Jake's, as you say, he's done a 20:44.1. So yeah, Jackson Robiard is on fire today. Martin Bayer didn't crash. It looks like it's a disconnect for him. So actually, thank you, chat, for helping me with this, because this is very useful for like little things like that. Jackson Robiard on board now in the Ferrari, painted in US blue, because he is from the United States. Hard on the brakes. There's a bit of a switcheroo bit here. Whoa, okay. I think I saw that bit on the TT once when I was just watching random highlights on ITV. Seeing them get up and basically do a wheelie. Now, Jackson, like I say, is driving with the car in US blue, and this is the cool thing about the series, is that there aren't any, like, no sponsor liveries or anything like, not like what you'd see in what I'm going to be doing later with the Formula 4s or anything like that. It's like you can paint the car in manufacturer colours, or you could have had a red one, or you can paint it in his national colours or the colours of his city or something like that. So, for instance, I could have a British Racing Green Jag, but I could have a black, red, and white stripe on it because that's the colours of the region of England that I'm from. So, Jackson Robiard currently in Sector 2 of the track. I'm assuming he's over the western end of the circuit at this point. So. Todd and Austin were unable to start due to connection issues. Ryan had a crash, as did Martin. Austin Birchfield are also out with a crash. Pod got a DNS right at the start. Oh, that must have been gutting. Mantas is Ganitis. Hope I got that correct. He's currently in the pit lane as well, so a little bit of jungle juice for him. Jackson currently at Solby's. Or at least he was at Solby's. Right, so yeah, he's in the northwestern end of the circuit, heading towards Ginger Hall and Carramore and Glenduff, that little area. But he'll be up towards... Whoa! He'll be up towards... Parliament Square and... Parliament Square and Ramsey and all that bit as well. VR just bricked itself going into Glen Helen's section. Where's Glen Helen? Alright, so the southwestern end of the circuit. Gotcha. If you point out names, I can find them on the map. There you go, kids. Learn to read maps. You never know. Now we have Darren Andrews. This is the Bristol. We haven't seen many of these this season. But then we haven't... we've seen basically the same people in the first 2 rounds, and with a lot of the usual guys like Enzo Fazzi and Yoni Simicic not being here today. Nico Hillebrand also not here. Neither is Timotej Andonovski. We've seen some new people come in, taking part in this. We get to see some of the cars that we haven't really seen so far, like the Bristol, like the Merc, and things like that. I'm just going to see if any other cars have turned up. We've got a lot of Astons in this one. The Bristol 450 for any of the car nuts out there. I was going to say he's coming through an S section of bends, but there's a lot of those. But then again, Jonathan Bradbury in chat, you'd be able to identify which part of the track it is just by looking at it. Oh, that's a clip of the wall on the exit. Hopefully that hasn't really done his steering in, because that's not going to be... Not really going to be doing his car any good if he's going to be sat in the pit lane getting that fixed. Was Ascari fast in the first lap? Ascari was fast. Ascari's best lap is only 3 seconds slower than Jake's fastest lap. Ascari did a 20:47.1 versus a 20:44.1. Which, that's quick. You can pretty much see who's going all out and who's taking it safe, because, to be fair, Jake's going to the top of the leaderboard, whatever happens today. I thought the TT was for bikes only, and what is this game? This is R-Factor 2, and they did actually race cars here in 1953. It's part of the Empire Trophy back then. It's the only time they've ever raced cars on the like in a massive capacity. Like I say, I'm all over the place at the minute because nobody's really done a time trial before in R-Factor 2. Would be cool if they could like put some code in that would... Yes, there we go. That's thumbnail worthy, is it? Eduardo Beninca. Sort of a staple of the series so far in the 3 litre category. And if you're wondering why it says 5 litre, 2 litre, 3 litre and not in 5.32, because the fastest 2 litre car is ahead of the fastest 3 litre car. Put this into perspective, Kansanen did a 20:34.4 in pre-qualifying. Fastest 3 litre car was a 20:48. That's nearly 14 seconds faster. Someone needs to slow this Ascari guy down. Beninca in sector 2 here, 9 minutes into the lap, so he's pretty much at the halfway point. Yay! The Romanian judge gives him a 9.4 for that. So you can see the social media tags up there, and do share this about. A lot of support for this league, which has been absolutely great. It's great to see the likes of Jone Simoncic and Enzo Fazzi, Nico Hillebrand, the sort of top eSport guys in R-Factor 2 joining in. There was that worry that some of them would turn up and take it far too seriously and win by 500 seconds, but they just turned up, had some fun, took it for what it is, the banter that it is. And that is the current standings, the mid-race results. Jackson Robillard ahead of Jake Desmarais. Nicholas Hem, that's 5 litres. Nicholas Hem, and then there's your Sorry, 3 litres. I'm all over the place at the minute with all these bits of paper that I'm trying to keep an eye on. Yeah, that's a 3-litre class, and then we'll have the 2-litre class for you in a second. There we go, Ascari Cantonen absolutely obliterating that. Simon Freilich having a really good debut in the series. Reece Gardner in 3rd position as well. Silberwolf, who has been pretty much dominating the 2-litre class, down there in 7th place with Liski, Vladimir Kodryavsky, and Frank Verplanken. And in pretty much what is the Maserati Cup, with a few Bristols in there as well. Three laps into this race now. A race event. Beninka catching little bits of air as he comes through somewhere. Again, I'm assuming he's in a pretty much straight part of the track, so this is probably Ginger Hall, so between Sulby Crossroads and Kerramore. This is where I need another commentator. Like I say, Zach doing family stuff at the minute, just became an uncle, so needs must with that kind of thing. Richard Woodcock driving a Dutch Mercedes, looking very swish. Just ignore the fake names at the bottom. Scooby now in the Ferrari. This is on the run up the mountain and back down the mountain, back towards Douglas, so he's probably about halfway. You can see traffic just ahead there. I'll find out who that is directly in front of him. It's Nicholas Helm. That gap is between them is 3.5 seconds, but you know, don't worry about that. And also, the other thing to take into account here is that overtaking other drivers is going to lose you time. You've got to try and find a way past. I don't know if Jake's given them the order, as it were, to get out of the way if you see someone behind you, because this is a time trial. You're not actually racing the other cars, you're racing the clock, so there is literally no point to trying to go 3 wide or 2 wide into to Parliament Square or something like that, because you're just going to lose so much time and get yourself wiped out. So it's the very scenic part of the track. Like I say, you may remember it from Top Gear as they come up to Black Hut. Is that even labelled on my map? No. It is not. So this is, like I say, new for everybody. The rules are slow car to the left, pass on the right when it's safe. Okay. Basically the same rules as it is on a UK motorway. Stay left, pass on the right. Awesome. Cool. In fact, considering that this track was made for Grand Prix Legends and then ported to R-Factor 2 and other sims like that, it's looking very good. Across the railway line. Here we go, Frantic Godrecki. Oh, passing slower traffic. This is what we were talking about before. And then Frantic Godrecki driving the Aston Martin. All of these cars, basically modified versions of the AC Cobra that came stock in R-Factor 2, made to look like Jags and Ferraris and Astons and things like that, and then given fake names to avoid the copyright police. And past the church. Just catching those little bits of air as they go over the bumps. Onto the curb to extend the entry into the left-hand kink there. Catching up to Ariel Diaz in front. Jackson Robillard's last lap being a 2-minute 32.4, so he's going even faster than he already has done. So assuming Robillard keeps it on track, then well, it's his for the taking here. There we go. Best lap time, Jackson Robbo, 20-minute 28.983, and then brings it into the pit lane for some fuel. That's an insane lap. I mean, they are running much, much slower than they did in pre-qualifying because it was all about setting the fastest lap. 2015 for Robillard on that occasion. Now we're looking at sort of 2028. Still within 20 minutes. Oh, and that is a rip out of 10. Get it back on its side. No. Oh, has he saved it? Is that still drivable? Oh, this is not going to be good. If that car is still drivable. Fair play to Frantic Godrecki. We'll have to get a replay of that. Take your eye off what's happening on track for a split second and then you miss the big stuff. Jake on the brakes. Into the pit lane. For a quick service. Gary Cantonen back on your screens. First place overall in the 2-litre category. Guy's absolutely flying. To put it into perspective here, his best lap 2047.1 as he hits a wall. So that's going to probably damage his steering a little bit. Still enough power to slide the rear tyres out, but then bias ply tyres, so they just... That was right at the end of the lap as well, so he hasn't really lost anything if he needs to pit. We'll see if he pits at the end of this lap. 29-second stop, 30-second stop. There we go. So he can probably get some damage fixed if he comes in and he's got enough to warrant getting it fixed. But if it's just a little bit of aero damage, then it's not going to be too much for him. Scooby heel and toeing his way into what appears to be sort of like the final corner. We'll find a couple of corners at the Nook and the Governor's Bridge and that sort of region of the track. Or not. Where is he on track? Have a look. Again, I do apologise that I'm struggling to find where I am on the map. Believe it or not, I've never had any reason to look at the Isle of Man. Try and find my... There we go. Lost what I was looking at for a second. There we go. Alright, so I was right. I was near the end of the lap. I think he was at like Hilbury or something like that. So, awesome sauce. Oh, Reece Gardner out of the race. Southpaw Racer has gone. Try and figure out what's gone wrong for him there. Dan, if you're still awake, try and join into this because I need someone to fill in the gaps here. This is mad stuff. But it's different, and that's what we like about it. Scooby and Helm in the pit lane. Gardner out the race. Going to be absolutely gutting, especially with the amount of time that people have put in for this. Freilich setting the best lap time overall in the 2-litre class here, as he also pits. Currently looking at Dion Hansen in the Aston Martin with the uphill hairpin. Well, to give you some background on the track, Ryan, as we watch Hansen sort of heading back down towards Douglas here. He started building the track in 2005 and then it was released for Grand Prix Legends in 2019, so that's how long he was working on it. Ooh, a bit of a wobble from Hansen there. Still alive, thankfully. And then ported from Grand Prix Legends into R Factor 2, which is what we're using today. Right in the pit lane. Simon Freilich out of the race. People dropping like flies at the minute. And stand-up comedian Josh Widdicombe in chat saying that Reece hit a solid bollard on the mountain and ripped a wheel. Easily done. So this is the mountain section that Dion Hansen is coming through right now. It's probably about 5 minutes from the end, or 4 minutes from the end of the lap here. We're on lap 4. Well, Robillard's on lap 4. Just trying to get some of these times available. Just a little bit of a slide, because the track doesn't have that long to rubber in for this. They're pretty much driving on ice in these things. Doc Slappy. What a name. He's about 10 minutes into his lap, so just before the halfway point, as that was Cantonen in front of him. So Doc Slappy really catching up to being pulled away from there, because if it's Oskari Cantonen that's ahead of him, then yeah, Cantonen's going to be absolutely pulling some gaps on him. Keep forgetting that I've got this timing screen on the other side, and it tells me who we're looking at and who's in front of him. So yeah, so Treogat in front of Doc Slappy here. Moved out of the way of Doc Slappy. Not a doctor. And then in behind Treogat is Salami, everybody's favourite sandwich filling. So there's a lot of there's a lot more crossover in the 2 and 3 litre class. Just to give you an idea of where everybody is overall. So you got Jackson, who's first overall and in first place. Jake's in second overall. Scooby is third in class, but he's in fourth. Nick Helm is fifth overall, but fourth in class. You got Juan Costa, also in 5 litre. He's in 16th place. And the final 5 litre class is 21st overall. But when you get into the mix of the thick of the 2 and 3 litre class, there's a lot more overlap. So just to give you an idea of who we have lost so far, see Ziedler heading up towards, heading through a small village on this island. I've got an uncle that lives on the Isle of Man, as it so happens. I wonder what first attracted him to that tax haven. We have lost Austin Birchfield, Ryan Kane, Nate Cowan, Martin Beyer. Dion Hansen has DNF'd. That must have happened as we went away from him. Reece Gardner also out. Simon Frelich out. Richard Woodcock's in the pit lane, and everybody else seems to have survived so far. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DNFs so far. So we still have more than 30 cars in the running, which is pretty good going. So we're pretty much at the half point of this race. Again, once again, apologies for any issues that we've had during the stream. Issues with power, with the broadcast director, among other things, not going well for us. The way streaming works, you have stream keys and stuff like that, and it didn't want to work when we tried to restart the event. But we're here, you're viewing it. Everything is new for everybody. We'll be back to normal, I think, for the next round, which will actually be a proper race. So, all good. People are hard on the brakes. He's about to make a right-hand turn here. Getting very close to the wall. Very Monaco-esque. Given that he's only 5 minutes or so into the lap, I would say he's coming. Mark Ziegler's coming through Laurel Bank. Excuse me, and then up to Craig Willie's Hill. Lol. There's a quick yellow in Sector 1. So I must have had a moment. Are the mini Gordinis on track now? Owenberg, yeah. What did he do in pre-qualifying? So there's a pre-qualifying event for every round to sort of get the grid, and then the times are taken from 107% of... Kantonen is out! Where did Oskari Kantonen drop it? He was doing so well up there in 3rd place overall. Has completely lost it. I'm going to try and grab as many replays as we can of these incidents and accidents, because I mean, we need to find out where exactly on track they happened. We've also only got one computer handling the stream today, so that'll probably be why we can't get any replays. But like I say, we've had our issues, but we've at least been able to bring you an event. Yellow in Sector 3, that's been quickly cleared. So Owen Bergier, fastest lap so far is a 21.07. His previous lap was a 21.25, so he's dropping off a little bit. I think that DNF brings us up to 8 now. So we're down to 30 remaining. Nikolai B. This is coming down the mountain. So he's not too far from the end of the lap here. Well, he's cleared Cregney Bar. Probably heading down towards Signpost and that area. Hilbury. Trying to find... Probably not even that. It's probably Dukes. Or Windy Corner. So, yeah, it was around there. I got it right. Nice. I'm getting good at this. Danish flag painted on the Merc here. Give this next left-hander nice and slowly to make sure that no doings are transpired. This will be Frank Mona, maybe? .33rd milestone. Let's go to Keppel Gate, Kate's Cottage. Then Cregney Bar down the bottom of the hill. I'm actually learning the layout of this track. And then I can forget it all once it ends. Some good updates coming in from chat. Jake has made it to Parliament Square and Ramsey, so that's at the top end of the track, so he's probably a few minutes behind this. We'll try and bring you updates from as many drivers as we possibly can. Like I say, we're only running one computer for the stream. There's a few confidence lifts here. Jackson Robillard dropping a huge amount of time in Sector 1, so pit stop maybe? But then somehow goes 2 seconds faster in the middle sector. Because who else but Jackson? Once again, this is the run down the mountain, so he's kind of at pretty much at the summit here, the highest point, which is about 1,300 feet. If you're into your quick facts, if you use metric, that's 422 meters. And actually, we'll compare. I actually wrote this down. Compare the fastest lap for the drivers here, which was 20 minutes 15.4 by Jackson Robillard. The fastest lap on a motorbike is 16:42.7, which was set by Peter Hickman in 2018, which equates to an average speed of 135.452 miles an hour, or 218 kilometers, if you're using newfangled money. Scooby, now. This looks like Ramsey to me. Temptation was there to turn right, I think. "13 minutes into the laps." That does sound about right. A huge blip of throttle. Coming into this tight left-hander. It is tight, isn't it? Wow. So that would have been the hairpin. It's actually labelled as hairpin on here. Right towards the waterworks, I think. I'm glad there are a lot of people that know the layout of this, because I don't. In case you can't tell. Just leaving Ramsey. Take on the Mountain Mile. There's your standings. We've got Oregui taking a very quiet lead in the 2 litre class. So now the 3 litre class has overtaken 2 litre, but that will be because of the retirement of Ascari Canton. And so now the fastest, or the lead 3 litre is now ahead of the next 2 litre. But now the timing screen looks correct, as it were. This is Scooby leaving Ramsey, heading up towards the mountain section. Very scenic part of the track. Don't want to catch one of these banks because, I mean, we've seen it before, looping the car and doing cartwheels and stuff like that. Great shot of the rest of the island in the background there. Try not to hit any of these concrete walls. Up the Joeys and Guthries. This is about 27 miles into the lap. This guy might be Dutch. Franek Godrecki still soldiering on in a car that's done more cartwheels and flips than Julius Agahauer at the 2002 World Cup. Using the curb as well to generate some turning, getting a couple of wheels off the ground. Some traffic ahead of him, bit of a lock-up. Some of these cars running drum brakes, some of these cars running disc brakes. Let's have a look at Franek Godrecki. So that will be Ariel Diaz ahead of him. He's been closing up to Ariel Diaz for a little while, has Franek Godrecki. Then he looped it. He's caught right back up to him again, so expect Ariel Diaz to move out of the way momentarily. The slower traffic has to keep left and then faster traffic on the right, which is what's happened there. Very well communicated between the two drivers. Everybody's looking to survive. Apparently this is the Glen Helen, one of my favourite bands. I love the song Jump. Also Ice Cream Man and Eruption. Cantonman's still in 5th despite retiring. Just shows how fast he's been. Another quick yellow in Sector 3. Quick yellows are the ones that are always the good yellows, if there is such a thing. Let's keep moving into 5th in the 2-litre class. They're watching Gudrecki, who is somehow managing to keep that car going. Robillard down the hill into the right-hander. That's at the beginning of the lap, so that's the start of lap 5. Lap 5 of 10. Halfway there. I just had it in my ear that they're going to do 6 laps, and we probably won't see all 10. I was thinking it was going to be 6 laps, but then it was, and then I saw 10, and then I just got very confused. So, but then again, like I've been reminding people all afternoon, that this is probably the first ever TT that's ever been done in R Factor 2. And that's the great thing about this series, is that it has been different. And usually it's GT3s and yellow in Sector 3. That's quite a long yellow, and it's been cleared. That's Juan Costa gone. And Nick Helm gone. Nothing's really been able to stop Jackson Robillard today. 81 seconds ahead of Jake, but again, it's total time rather than time between the drivers. Jackson's best, 2028, 0.9. His last was 21.22. Losing time. Jake's best lap 20.34. Last was 21.30. Twelve DNF so far. Nick Helm, Andy Costa, the latest 2. They join Oskari Kantonen, Simon Frelick, Frank Verblanken, Reese Gardner, Tim Madpaul, Dion Hansen, Martin Bayer, Nate Coward, Ryan Kane and Austin Birchfield. And crashing out of this race as well must hurt a little bit more, considering how much effort you have to put in to learn the layout of the track and focus so much on not crashing that you do end up crashing. Just that one lap concentration. Not fun for anybody. Jackson just kisses the curb to try and open up some of these corners. Hard on the brakes in the Ferrari. Through a right-hander at a very pink-looking pub. Still reckon that they should have run this in the wet, just to see what happens. So Jackson just coming through Ballacrane. If he carried straight on, he would have headed towards Peel, but he's not. And then he's going to head up sort of through, I guess, kind of like the middle-ish bit of the island, up towards Ramsey. Long yellow is now cleared. Yellow is back. Hopefully not for the same driver. Lots of yellows coming out at the minute. Hopefully we've not lost another driver. Drivers. Vladimir HRRC, painted in Ukrainian national colours. Drivers allowed to run manufactured colours, or they can run the colours of their country, their city, their county, their region, just to make it a bit more immersive. So no sponsor liveries allowed, all national colours. Had another DNF by the sounds of things. Franek Godrecki has finally retired. Looks like he parked it. Doing very well to carry on after rolling the car. So maybe he had some damage that he just couldn't drive around anymore. Maybe it was him that brought out all those extra yellows. And then it's like, oh, it's too badly damaged. I'll pull over. Class leaders there, Robiard, Wright, and Horegui. Although take that with a pinch of salt as more yellows come out. Because we're looking at overall time rather than the actual positioning of the cars on the track. Apparently Franek's engine exploded. That's a shame. And then here is the leader of the 2-litre class, Isidoro Horegui. Or Horegui? I do apologise for any pronunciation butchering that is happening this afternoon. He's just coming across the line to complete the next lap. See what time he's set. So he's in the 21-minute bracket here. Pulls it in for some fuel. Luckily, the pit stop line is just after the timing line, so you don't lose time by pitting. You just lose the time from the next lap, which is pretty cool. Darren Andrews, the Australian, and the Bristol. Huge blip of throttle into what appears to be Quarterbridge, maybe. Probably not. That's not the right corner. Ignore me. No, it's the wrong part of the track altogether. This is over the top end of the circuit. Or ish. Yeah, he's just... Oh, no, that's the end of the circuit. GG. That's another lap down for the Australian, pretty much. Into the 21 minutes. That's a pretty quick lap for a 2-litre class car. What we're essentially seeing here, ladies and gentlemen, is hot stinting. Okay. we've actually that okay was me talking to my broadcast director, because we've actually got Southpaw Racer available for an interview. We're just trying to bring him in, make sure he's all cool with that. My phone's trying to throw scores at me. Jackson is now on a flyer, 3 seconds up in the first sector. Oh, sorry, that's Jake. He's 3 seconds up in the first sector. So, pulling out the stops of the final lap by the looks of things. Just getting around the lap traffic. Semi holding him up. As per the rules, lap traffic keeps left. The overtake's on the right, which is the laws in the UK. Get some air on stream. Jake is actually streaming this, so if you want to see his POV, it's right there. Yellow's coming out again in Sector 2. We'll keep an eye on that, see what happens with any retirements. Don't see anything happening at the minute. There's Yellow's... bringing Southpaw Racer in. Hyler in the pit lane. We'll drag Southpaw Racer in momentarily to do 101 different things at the same time. I keep one eye on the event and one eye on everything else. While we work on getting Southpaw Racer in, we'll just remind you of the way this event works. So each driver was released in qualifying order every 15 seconds, and then they basically have to go out and set the fastest overall time they can. So just like the real Isle of Man TT, only that they're doing it in 1954 sports cars. Something that we're aware of is unique to sim racing. I don't think anybody has actually tried this before. We're going to be doing it all again later on in the season, as they will be doing the Targa Florio. That one's going to be even more difficult to keep up with the old track map and where they actually are on the lap. Jake flying around the lap at the minute. It's heading in towards Ramsey here. So this will be Parliament Square. Something along those lines. Shanks. Yeah, this is in the middle of Ramsey. Hence the car dealership. Schools Corner and all of that stuff. Going towards the hairpin, which looks like the most fun corner on the entire circuit. vaulting the curb, try and cut the corner, straighten the exit a bit. Ooh, a bit of a wobble there. Oh, he's overshot the corner. Oh, he almost ran over a man. Is that car damaged? It looked a little bit... Oh, that's suboptimal. You are missing a wheel, sir. Is he trying to Michael Schumacher his way to the end of the lap? If so, fair play. And that's in a wall. And then Richard Woodcock pretty much out of the running for this. Hyler in third position in his class. As Indy Briney points out in chat, the man didn't even flinch seeing a Jag. And insert, he can run over whoever he wants because he's got a Jag. So this is early on in the lap here, over the south end of the circuit. Just pretty much worked out where they are based on how many how many minutes they've so far covered. Great shot coming out of the corner, almost kissing the wall. Okay, we actually have... Oh, we've got Southpaw Racer here. We are, I believe, doing this on Discord chat. So, Reece, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic
Sorry.
stuff.
Took me a while to get connected with you guys.
No, it's fine. It's all good. You were running so well out there. I think you were in third at one point. So, what happened to the car? Did you stuff it into a wall? Did you blow the engine on a downshift, or was it just something else?
Okay, so lap 2 was going pretty well. Apparently, I was told by my Twitch chat that on my first lap I had a purple sector, so I definitely had the pace to do really well here today. But coming into, I think it would have been Dukes around the open section along the mountain. I could have gotten the corner name wrong. It's one of the multi-apex left-handers with the destruction bollards on the outside. I just trail braked a little too much, lost the rear, and slid off the track and into the bollards, and the car got destroyed.
How many laps / hours do you think you put into learning this place? Just to give the stream chat an idea as to how mental this place is.
Yeah, I've lost count of the amount of laps I've tried, but I can tell you the amount of time. If we combine all of the streams that I did on traction practicing, that's probably like 6 to 8 hours already, and then more practice on my own channel. It's probably about 9 or 10 hours. And then there's pre-qualifying. That was another 4 hours as well. So yeah, I think a bit over 12 hours worth of lapping, just learning the track, and that's not even counting some of the other sessions I've done where I just didn't have time to complete a whole lap or had a crash along the way.
Was it fun though?
Yeah, absolutely, it was fun. I mean, I love the challenge of learning a circuit that's new to me, and I've always been curious about the Isle of Man TT circuit. I've watched onboards from years ago, and it's just amazing what they do in real life at this place. So actually being able to learn my way around this place, okay, this corner's Ballacrane, this is Kirkmichael, this is what those commentators mean, this is Ramsey Hairpin, I have context for this place now. So it's been really valuable for me.
Would it be good knowledge going in towards Targa Florio for how you learn this place? Because Targa Florio is a little bit longer, I think. So are you going to try and learn Targa Florio in the same way you learned this place, or is it going to be a whole nother method of learning for you?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that I've already done some practice on Targa Florio. I have managed to at least complete a lap. Which is obviously good, but I think the fact is Isle of Man might be a little bit more difficult to learn. I think all up. But at the very least, with the Isle of Man, you have sections you can break the track up into. It's really easy for you to tell what part of the track you're at, and that's not exactly the case with Targa Florio, and a lot of the corners are roughly the same radius and speed at that place as well. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm going to keep practicing for Targa Florio as much as I can, but my focus will be about 30% on Targa Florio for the next month, but 70% on Dundrod, because I'm feeling really good about the Maserati there.
Oh, fantastic stuff. So we'll definitely see you for the rest of the rounds of this season then.
Yeah, absolutely. I entered this championship intending to take part in every single round, and, you know, barring something horrible happening in the personal life, or, you know, the world ending or something like that, you can guarantee that I'll be there for every round to come.
Fantastic stuff. I'm doing it from Australia as well, so it's like, what, midnight there at the minute?
It's currently 11:30 p.m. I'm on
Wow.
the west coast of Australia,
Ah, yeah.
So you know, it's not as bad as it is for drivers on the east coast.
Well, we'll let you go off and have some food and a beer or whatever, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the next round.
All right, thanks very much, Aiden. Cheers.
Cheers. All right, Southport racer himself taking part in this competition. Like I said, he's here for every round, so fair play to him for doing it at the time of day that he's doing it. And fair play to DDF Racer as well, who is on that eastern coast of Australia, with it being after 1 o'clock in the morning. And joining in for this. Apparently, I've also been told that we're up to about 14 DNFs now, because we've lost Salami on top of Nick Helm, which is testament to how fast some of these guys have been, where they're still not fully down the bottom end of the field yet. Just checking in with some of these race results, because Jackson Robbie did a 20:28.2 on that last lap. And there we go. There's the current standings. Robillard from Jake from Scooby, and Mantis in 4th. Nick Helm DNF, Whammy Costa DNF. That's your 5 litres class. Matt Wright from 3 litre, leading 3 litre. Mark Ziedler in 2nd. Eduardo Beninca in 3rd, although take these with a pinch of salt because it's over. It's total time with this thing rather than actual position, because they were released at 15-second intervals. So we'll figure out how it all works at the end. Probably tune into the GP Laps YouTube channel and the GP Laps Discord as well to get the actual results. I'll probably put them up on my community tab as well. And then Darren Andrews there in the Bristol, leading the 2 litre class there, and Isdoro Horegi in 2nd. I do apologise if I'm butchering your name. And then Hyla in 3rd, with Subwolf in 4th, who has been a driver who's been a regular participant this season, quietly running down there in 4th. I'm interested to see how this all works out at the end of the day's festivities, as that's very close to the wall there. Very close to the wall. Some of these drivers. I was actually Silverwolf in the Maserati, driving it in manufacturer colours there. Jake in the pit lane, who also said that his car is doing well after that brush with the man. Two litre car sounding like an angry bee. Currently in sector 2 is Silverwolf. Trying to work out exactly where he is on track. About 11 minutes in. Probably about 18 miles into the lap or something like that. And there we go. He's still going. Fair play. It's the Giga Chad strategy here. The Mercedes still running on 3 wheels. Going for full Lewis Hamilton Silverstone 2020 simulator. I mean, that's dedication to the cause. Carrying on. Yellow in Sector 3, that's cleared. Well, this should be the final lap of the race, you would have thought. Each driver doing their 6 laps. And then their total time being taken. So the 10 laps is basically to allow anybody being lapped to complete those 6 laps. I've just worked it out in my head. Jackson Robillard has been absolutely flying all day. Should he finish this lap, it'll be a very, very deserved victory here. His best lap, over 14 seconds faster than the next fastest lap. And then you got Scooby, whose fastest lap was a 20:50.007. He's currently in the pit lane. And on my timing screen, cross-checking that with the rest of it. It's already counted 1 lap when starting out the pit lane, so lap 7 needs to be finished. Gotcha. So the next lap will be the final lap. Is that correct? Oh, right. They are on lap 5, but the lap counter says lap 6. Gotcha. Had a roll, lost 19 seconds, only body damage, but you lost 15 kilometers an hour top speed. Frantic. Gotcha. Right, I understand that. Doing no more mistakes and then your engine blew up. Happens, doesn't it? Jackson finishes on lap 8. Confirmed. So there's another 2. So once that finishes, when that ticks over to lap 8, we've got ourselves a result. So still got 2 more laps to complete. One more lap after this, isn't it? Just tried to... Right. Gotcha. Six minutes into the lap here for Jackson Robillard. We'll try and show you as many drivers as possible. Once again, take the distances between them as not relevant, because we're looking at total time from this. Eduardo Beninca setting a purple middle sector. Brazilian having a nice little drive out there on the Isle of Man. Nice immersive sounds as well with the commentator. Not this commentator, but the commentator coming through the PA system. 15 years it took to make this track. It was released for Grand Prix Legends back in 2019. As Beninca pulls into the pit lane at the end of the lap. Decent lap from him. Nikolai Bogatrev. Was that Bogatriev? There we go. Oh, Bogatyrev. Read the Y and the R the wrong way around. Getting nice air. This is the 3-litre class. Zeidler and Beninca in the pit lane. Actually, I think Zeidler's left. No, he's still in the pit lane. Apparently. Showing that on my timing screen. Zeidler now leaves the pit lane. Beninca still there, 41 seconds stationary. Zeidler retakes second place. Field very much spread out at the minute. Big air. Once again, thank you to everybody who has turned up to watch this. Thank you as well to Simply Race for making the broadcast look very, very nice. Next round is at Dundrod, I believe. So we're back onto a proper road course as a yellow comes out in Sector 3. And it hung around for a little while. It's back. So it looks like a driver's made... Excuse me, a mistake. As we see Hyla coming down the mountain now. Got another driver in behind him. Looks like it's Bergier. Polish colours followed by French colours. It's good seeing cars within visual distance of each other as they come through. Crag. Oh, sorry, Kronk. No, that's not. I've read that completely wrong. Ignore me. Cregny Bar. That's the one. As we have championship standings to bring you. This is as it stands. Actually, no, this isn't as it stands. This is as it was leading into this. So Simoncic on top. Jake will take the lead of the championship, but remember there are drop scores. There's 2 drop scores. So Yerne currently doing the 8 hours of Bahrain for the Virtual Le Mans series. Enzo Fazzi also not here today. So expect Jackson Robillard to gain a massive amount of points to basically go into where Jake is now. So Jackson Robillard going to jump from 5th up to at least 3rd. Oh, actually, he should go into 2nd, or joint 2nd with Simoncic, because he'll have a point for being fastest overall in qualifying. So Jackson going to be gaining bigly on everybody around him, subject to him finishing the race. As Hyla goes straight on into a wall. Is that car still drivable? It looks like it is. R-Factor 2, if you buckle your steering a little bit, you're going to be driving at 45 degrees, and that's the 5-litre class taking shape there. Robillard should gain about 10 points for this round. Rajasu not here for this round by the looks of things. Godrecki crashing out of this event in very spectacular fashion, as there is that Mercedes still going, determined to finish. That is Rajasu, sorry. Oh, he is here. Okay. So he'll gain some points, probably 2 points for this one. He's only 5th in the creator class, because we expect him to be right at the front, but he's not today. Jake Britton in overall 1st place for the 2-litre. I'll say overall, he's in 1st for the 2-litre class. Silberwolf in 2nd. Skari Kantonen winning it out of this event, so no points scored there. Not many drivers. I don't think many of the drivers around that have actually are actually going to score points today. So that's going to be pretty much as it was. Martin Bayer there as well. Nico Hillebrand. This is other drivers that have scored points, not turned up for other rounds or crashed out of other rounds. Kasper Stoltzer was dominating at Spa, but then retired. Matt Wright leading the 3-litre class at this point. This looks so fast going through there. And this should be a great shot. That is a great shot. I like it. Yellow in Sector 1. Quickly cleared. All good. And then it reappears again. So it looks like these yellows, they come in 3s, so expect it to pop up again. Now they popped up again. Oh, there it is. It's a little bit later than claimed. We haven't lost any more drivers in the interim. Nice, we have lost Nikolai B. Rogue Fish was another one. We've already established that they'd not finished, so I think we've pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lost 16 drivers so far. We've pretty much lost. We have lost half the field. Robillard currently on lap number 5 of 6. Matt Wright almost getting onto the embankment, and these onboards just look great. Getting air, getting light as they go over the over the humps here, like there. Full on Nürburgring levels of jumpage. Yellow flags coming a little bit more often. A little bit concerning. Just quickly check the timing sheet. No, everybody's still there as it was. I think it's just drivers getting wide, hitting walls, dipping onto grass, that kind of thing. Yellow flags again in sector 1. Hard on the brakes. Drop a gear. Just making sure you get the car under control, because you get a lot of air off that bit. And Bergier is out now as well. Lost another driver. We are now into the final 50% of the field. Just see Matt Wright trying to be pretty much inch perfect. He comes through each kink, trying to shorten the line as much as possible, keep the speed up. Stuff that would be absolutely terrifying in a bike and on a bike and in a car. Fair play to every single driver that has taken part in this. So look at the Welshman Toby Johnson in his Merc. This is over the sort of coming back towards the end of the lap now. 20:52 is the target time for that class. Setting personal bests in sector 1 and sector 2. I do like this part of the track. It's very scenic. Trying to keep the car off the grass. The track hasn't really had any time to rubber in either. With the way our Factor 2 works, it has dynamic rubber. The way you drive the car is where the rubber will go. We're about 33 miles into the lap here. And past Kate's cottage. So this will be Cregney Bar at the bottom of the hill. So that's now 34 miles he's just done. Corner doesn't look anywhere near as tight as it does on the map, to be fair. So 35 miles, just about, down the bottom of the hill to where the next corner is. So very, very, very long. Very, very long lap here. 37 3/4 miles. That's... How far's that? Imagine driving from... Imagine driving from Peterborough to Long Sutton and back again. 30 miles there. Well, 37 miles there. 37 miles back, and then doing it again and again and again and again. It's There's probably a nothing comparison because you need to know where those two places are, but if you look it up on a map, probably where they would be. Jake coming down the mountain. Well, no, he's about to start going up the mountain if this is Mountain Mile. So, 27 miles into the lap for him. Robillard 90 seconds ahead of him on the road. Across the railway line. Towards the memorial. You can hear the downshifts and all that stuff as he tries to keep the car under control. We have seen him in a wall once today. Not that much damage. He is fastest overall in the middle sector. 56.3 off his best in the first sector. So that will mean that he's had a pit stop at some point. Oh no, Jake! Gives the car a bit of a wiggle just to test the steering out. I think he's okay. Yeah, he's okay. Whew. That's twice we've been on with Jake, and he's had a little moment, but he's still running, and that's the good bit. Interesting to see if the toe's been knocked out or anything like that, because even a bit of light damage on the rear, and you can have issues. I got a little bit of a bonk on the rear suspension in a Formula race at Monza. Braked for Ascari, and the car just looped. It was fine up until that point. So Jake on the way back down the hill now towards Cregny Bart. He starts the fastest sector, the fastest middle sector, but not going to do his lap time any good come the end. With 2040 into that lap, Jackson Robillard now just finishing the lap. So this will be the last lap now for him. So we are approximately 21.5 minutes from the end of this run for Jackson Robillard here. And then we've got to work out how to actually give you the results at the end. I want to see if that Mercedes is still going on three wheels. So while Jackson Robillard has been dominant today, with his lap times and everything else, there is still the matter of an orange Mercedes driving around with the left front wheel missing. Matt Wright apparently decided not to turn up for this corner. There he is. I believe the Mercedes was driven. Richard Woodcock. How was it? Oh, it's second two. He came into the pits and has withdrawn, so that's a shame. I was hoping he'd make it to the end. Oh yeah, there he is. DNF. So we've lost yeah, Woodcock from that group. Doc Slappy getting promoted into a couple of extra positions here. the on-track leader for the 2-litre class. Robillard on his final lap, so we'll keep an eye on him for the so this is coming down the final bit of the circuit for Egwy. Apparently Robillard's lead is about 40 seconds in terms of total time, so we'll try and figure a way of getting that back for you, or getting that broadcast for you. So I've just found the top 5 unofficial standings so far are Jackson, Jake, Scooby, Matt Wright, and Eduardo Beninca, and that's the overall top 5. Ian Monroe, who is working behind the scenes trying to put it all together. Huge blip of the throttle there. This is Mantas Isganitis, who is currently running 4th, and I think that's the last on track of the 5 litres. He's currently 10th overall, at least on track. We'll see where he slots in at the end of the actual thing. Idler behind Eduardo on combined time currently. So we'll why we I think this is probably why this doesn't happen very often. It's because it's very difficult to keep track, but you never know unless you try it. It's something new. People are interested. There are still methods of putting it all together. Yeah, we have to do it all manually. If you still want to join in for the rest of the season, pre-qualifying for Dundrod will be available the week before the race. You can sign up and get yourself onto the grid that way. Take part. These cars, very tricky to drive. Fantastic, gets some air and runs it through a tunnel of trees. Pretty much halfway through his lap currently. Checking the timings right now. It looks like Robillard is still in the first sector here. Again, it's total time for this, so while the gaps between each of the drivers look massive, we need to look at their total time at the end of the event. All been done old school. Which adds to the immersion of the fact that it's a 1950s racing series, having to do everything manually. Mantis just coming through Ramsey now, the north end of the island. Let's see if there's any more information that I'm being given. Robiard, Desmarais, Scooby, Wright, Beninka, the provisional top 5. Had 16 non-finishes so far, including Austin, who did not start. So that would be Austin Birchfield. Jackson going all out in the first sector, 1.5 seconds up, or just over 1.5 seconds up. Totally flying here, right on the edge. Now, does he risk it all on this final lap to secure the win? Or does he take it semi-easy? We'll find out when we get to the end of Sector 2 to see what happens. Brilliant driving from everybody so far, getting massive air. The restricted speed limit sign coming out of the village. No speed limits on the Isle of Man outside the villages and the towns. That was almost a loss. Almost lost the back end. Jackson Robiard appears to be right on the edge of adhesion on this final lap. Is he looking for the fastest lap? Or does he go, maybe I should slow it down a tiny bit after wobbling it in the way that he did just then? On the brakes. He's going to get some big air here. There we go. New spine, please. Roughly halfway into his lap now. His final lap now, I should say. At the end of this lap, expecting to pull into the pit lane, and that'll be it for him. Beninka in the pit lane, taking on some fuel for the final lap. Going up to some insane speeds up this straight little section here. On board with Jackson Robiard right now. Now he's going flat out along here in a car. What's he going to be like on a bike? Hard on the brakes. This right-hander. It's pulled up nice and straight. He's avoids sliding into the concrete on the edge. Matt Wright has retired from the 3-litre class as well. That's just popped up on my screen. We've lost the leader of the 3-litre class right at the end. The engine just hitting the red line, slowing up, trying to get the car to turn in. All mechanical grip, and even then they didn't have much mechanical grip as well. Certainly no downforce on them. Threading the needle. Jackson Robiard seems to be a guy who's learned this track pretty well in the run up to this event. Also president of the Spa. Have a US 1-2 at the Isle of Man, all being well. So Matt Wright lose it right at the end. Hopefully Jackson Robiard doesn't as well. Using all of the road. Underneath one of the purpose-built footbridges so that spectators can cross the road without getting in the way of the bikes. Coming up on some lap traffic here as he enters Ramsey for the final time. A very tight right-hander past the car dealership. Underneath another one of the purpose-built footbridges as we see Scooby now. Coming through Sulby, I think this is. Because he's going flat out. I think it's just process of elimination now. Super, super fast up here. 120, 130 miles an hour maybe. He's got to get on the brakes for the S-bends. Just up here where he'll get some air on the exit. Whee! There we go. A little bit slower than others have gone through there, just to try and make sure that he doesn't lose it on this final lap. Robillard, Demarais, Scooby doing incredibly well here. Like I say, everybody that's finished this race has done incredibly well. Everybody that made the grid has done incredibly well. Anybody who learned the circuit has done incredibly well. It's been a huge event for sim racing, this one. Cars at the Isle of Man. I don't think anybody has ever done this before. Right, Ziedler leading 3-litre class with the demise of Mr. Wright. Very wiggly on the exit of that particular corner. A yellow in sector 3 has come out.